Hello, everybody. Welcome to the call. This is Scott Best Agent Mastermind, another session. Beautiful day out there for most, and I have an unbelievable top-producing agent out of Colorado, and her name is Stacie Staub, and I hope I said that right. Stacie?
Yep, that's fine.
All right. So she has joined us today, and she has an unbelievable presentation with us, and I just have her picture up here and a little bit about where she's at, who she is. And Stacie, just really quick, you've been in the business how long now?
About 8 years.
8 years, and you told me that your team with your mom, you and your mom kind of go hand in hand together as a team.
Yes, we work 50-50.
50-50, and then you've been for 8 years. What did you do before before you were in real estate?
So I came into real estate in kind of a funky way because I was a marketing director for a real estate technology company.
Okay.
And their clients were really wanting them to have a realtor on staff so that they could, really feel like they had a voice while the technology was being built. So they wanted someone looking at it from kind of the outside in.
Okay.
So I was like, sure, I'll get my license. And then I ended up selling a couple houses and also purchasing a couple for us because, of course, once you get that MLS access, you can't stop looking at it. So then I decided that I liked being out selling houses a lot better than I liked sitting in an office helping other people do it.
Excellent, excellent. So, so if you don't mind me asking, and if you don't want to share this, up to you, but about how many closings are you closing per year on an average?
This is kind of a funky question for us too because our market has turned around so drastically. Okay. But as of now, this year we're on track to do 50 closings.
50 closings. And what would you say about your average loan size would be?
This is funny too, but last year our average sale price was around $180,000, and this year it's looking more like towards the $400,000 mark. So we're really excited to be getting into like some higher end kind of sales, but also really psyched that sellers are starting to get the message that inventory is really low here, and it's a really good time to kind of put those higher end homes on the market.
Excellent. So would you say that some of the stuff you're doing here has caused your average loan size to go up? Or is it just the market or maybe a compilation of everything?
I think it's a combination of everything. I think that as a real estate professional gets farther into their business and they start to see that repeat business come back, I think that people start to trust you with those higher end deals, and also, those first people that I sold a house to 8 years ago are now looking at their, $500,000 purchase rather than, that $200,000 purchase in the beginning.
Good
but
point.
I still love also working with first-time home buyers. That's still one of my favorite things.
Yeah, but your average, I mean, if your FHA loan limit, I think, is a lot higher than me personally, isn't it? Any idea what your high loan FHA is up there?
Right now it's 470.
470, okay. That's just heaven to me, man. That's just like money, because my highest I think is 281 or 284 or something like that. So you got a couple hundred thousand more than me to take advantage of a great program. So, well, let's get started. So the first thing, you want to just kind of take it from here and let me know as you want to proceed as far as the slides go.
Yeah, sure. So there's a lot of visuals in this presentation, and I'll just kind of have Scott flip through those, and because I really want everyone to just get a feel for our brand, and I think that's a big part of our online marketing strategy as well as our offline, and I really feel like consistency is really important, and so that's one of the things that I really want to get across through this presentation. So I'll show you some of our print materials, our street presence, our Facebook presence, really everything across the board, but I think what you'll see and what I hope is conveyed is that it's consistent. Like anyone that looks at any piece of our marketing, no matter how it came to them, should really get a strong idea of, where we're coming from and our vibe, and hopefully decide that we're the right company to work with as far as their home purchase or sale. So I've titled this presentation Connecting with consumers and building a strong brand from chicken scratch, because I first of all wanted to throw in some gratuitous photos of my super cute kids and chickens, but also I really feel like when you look at like a chicken and its like kind of goals in life, they really kind of parallel what realtors should be doing. So there's a few things thrown in that I think you'll see how they relate.
Excellent, excellent. So the next, go ahead here with this one.
Yeah.
You seen it okay?
Yep, yep. So this is our storefront office, and it's on a super fun street in Northwest Denver called Highland Square. It's full of, small retail mom and pop shops, as well as some higher end restaurants and, yogurt shops, the typical thing. But the important thing is we get a lot of walk-by traffic. So we have people constantly stopping in, asking for flyers and things like that. But the most important thing to us is that it's comfy and cozy and like totally conveys our brand. This is one of our logos and also our tagline, where do you want to live? This is also the reason why live's in green, because we really hope that people start saying live urban instead of live urban, which has been a constant battle for us since we created the brand. So
it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny, Stacie, when I put up the post building your brand from chicken scratch. Somebody read it and thought that I was showing them how to build a chicken. It was like, okay, kind of funny.
No, but these are my little chickens when they were babies.
That's right. Are these actually yours?
Yeah, those are my chickens.
Excellent, excellent, fun.
So I don't know. Oh, good.
So what's the story behind this? So what's the story behind these chickens?
We'll keep flipping through, and as the slides go through, I'll hit on those points.
Okay, and this is that video you want me to play?
Yeah, is that next? Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Whoops, let me go back. I'm still, let me go back here. Stop.
So this is a video that we put together just to kind of introduce our brand to our online website visitors.
Okay, cool. Let me play this. I'm going to hold the speaker up to the microphone, and we'll be right back. 1 second.
Live Urban Real Estate is a full-service real estate brokerage that focuses on the vibrant and diverse neighborhoods of urban Denver. We really help people live the life they want. We're really Denver's city living experts because most of our brokers actually live in the neighborhoods that we represent. We have a vast amount of knowledge about the Denver marketplace, including sales data, market pricing trends, neighborhood amenities, and demographics, all the way up to the best local yoga studio and the liveliest coffee shop. Our talented and proven brokers are supported with leading-edge web technology, award-winning marketing, paperless e-contracts, and so much more. We guide buyers through the entire home buying process. On the same token, we counsel sellers to their successful sale at closing.
Very cool. Short, sweet, and to the point, right?
And I think that's always the point online, right?
That is 100% the point online, yeah, for sure.
So the next slide is kind of what we call our marketing matrix, and this is part of both our buyer presentation. I don't know if you can go to that next slide, Scott.
Yep.
And it's part of our buyer presentation and our listing presentation, and it kind of shows, I think, oh, where are we at?
Are you talking about this one? Live matrix, marketing matrix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks. So it kind of shows like all of the different ways that we will work our booties off to market your home. So through print, we don't do a lot of print as far as newspapers, but we do some mailers. We do flyers. We do all of the typical kind of things. But then we also tie in all of the social media stuff, everything from Facebook to Twitter to Google Plus and all of that stuff. And all of our listings are supported not only on the agent level with those technologies and with that knowledge, but also on the company level. So
do you take this? Do you take this right here and in with you for your listing presentation?
Yeah, it's part of it. My listing presentation is probably 50 pages. So I think this is a really good illustration of just how we tie it all together.
Yeah.
So one thing that chickens really do well is share with their friends, right? So I think realtors could take a huge lesson from that and start sharing parts of your day with your Facebook friends. And this is where I found really good success, and if you want to keep flipping through, Scott, I'll just talk. Okay. My company is really good about this, and we have a collaborative effort. We do a team blog where many of us, post on a pretty regular basis, but we also have a Facebook business page for Live Urban Real Estate, and then of course every agent has their own profile page, right, which everyone does at this point. So the question I always get is, how do you post business-related items to your Facebook page without being salesy?
Right.
So the way that I do it, and I call it like the 9-to-1 rule, is I'm a heavy Facebook user, so I tend to overshare, and I post things throughout the day, like pictures of my kids playing lacrosse, pictures of my kids at their dance recital, like whatever, playing in a fountain. My kids are super cute. I love to post about them. But that's why I also feel like I kind of earn the right then to post other things that are happening throughout my day, which usually involve real estate. So if I put out a coming soon sign, I have a super cute new listing I've got coming up, if I'm at an open house, and I know that open houses have kind of gotten like a bad rap lately, but I find a lot of success through open houses, and I think this is why. Because I take, and if you'll flip through, Scott, there's a couple slides coming up that show, like while you're sitting at your open house and you only get 5 people coming through, I think like if you can share throughout that and kind of get some more legs out of that time and effort that you put into your open house, you'll see that marketing like really start to pay you back in a bigger way. So not only will your sellers see the effort that you put into your open house, like these little gift boxes I always put together, a little, buffet of little snacks, or however you run your open houses, but that's a lot of time and effort. So I've gotten a lot of business out of these particular pictures, actually. Like, I get a lot of people asking me what's in those little gift boxes, for one thing, but I also have had people call me and ask if I do that for every open house, which I do, and that they've said, well, my realtor doesn't do that, or, like, how is that how it's supposed to be done? Because the open houses that I go to, that's not how it is. So it just kind of helps me differentiate myself in the marketplace, and also like I've gotten calls from relocating buyers wanting to see that particular property. So, and not because I posted a picture of the front of the house per se, but because I posted interesting pictures from the event itself.
Yeah.
So for some reason
that's
really
so important. Yeah. So what's in this gift box?
I make it seasonal. So I think in that one I had a little flower pot that I had picked up at Target for like $1, and then we have some little like personalized or branded, wildflower seeds, and there was some candy. At Christmas I do like a little ornament, just depending on what's going on. I fill it up with all kinds of little surprises.
I sorry to interrupt, but I think it's so important to point out what I just heard Stacie say. And that's with her free time, while she's sitting at her open house and waiting for people to come through, she's engaging people on her Facebook, and the engagement that she's doing. Remember this: she's not only always talking about how wonderful the listing is, and you should come to my open house, and here's what I'm doing with business, and here's what's happening with the housing. What she's posting about are things that people are interested in reading. The reason people are on Facebook, to see fun pictures of the kids at the dance recital, or a fun picture of an open house where, here, hey, check out the refreshments and how cute this looks in this front room. She's throwing business in with the personal engagement that people want to see on Facebook, or what people are there for, and that's to have that connection with friends, family, coworkers, people that they care about. And they're seeing her post these fun things, and she's getting engagement from it, which is getting new people to see Stacie and connect with Stacie on Facebook, and allowing her to throw the business parts in there mixed in with her engaging conversations. I think that's so important to point out. Sorry for interrupting, Stacie. That part just, it's genius the way that you're utilizing that social media space.
No, absolutely. And I mean, how boring are open houses most of the time anyway, So you might as well fill up that time and use it productively. So this is another thing that I do. I create a Facebook place for every listing. I do it for a couple of different reasons. I kind of like this little like photo porn collage that comes up when you post all your pictures to a Facebook page. I think it really like conveys the vibe of the house. So if someone's searching online, this has a ton of SEO juice. For some reason, and I'm no SEO expert, but when I create a Facebook place like this for a listing and someone types in the address, for one thing, this is one of the first things that comes up, which is awesome because I completely control this content, right? Absolutely. Also, I pay a bunch of money for my professional photographs, and I want them to have as far of legs as possible. Like, I always hear these arguments about syndication and like how I own the photos and like Zillow's stealing the content and all of that stuff. And honestly, I think like if you're gonna take the time and effort or pay someone to take beautiful photographs, like why wouldn't you want them to be seen and then linked back to your listing? So the other thing that this really does a lot, there's a Starbucks up the street from this particular listing, and I had a lot of people check in at the Starbucks and then surf through to this listing. So that was pretty cool. And actually the guy that ended up buying it had found it from checking in on Facebook and finding the listing that way and then asking his realtor to see the house.
Seriously?
So
Wow.
even though you're not going to see a lot of likes on pages like this, as far as I've learned, but that's not always the goal. You only have to sell each house once, so you never know how you're going to find that buyer.
Now,
So,
when you say check in, what does that mean? How do you set that up? Because I think that's
so
important.
there's a lot of different ways that people are using check-ins. A lot of people use Foursquare, which I think is a great platform, and I used to use it a lot. For some reason, my phone just doesn't like it now, so I've switched to checking in Facebook Places, which I think is just as beneficial. Plus, I'm always on Facebook anyway, so I just try and do everything from there now.
Okay.
But all you do is go on and create a page, just like you would for anything. And I'll touch a little bit later in the presentation on creating Facebook groups as well, because I'm a big believer in that too.
Cool.
So standing out from the crowd, we are at Live Urban. We love to put on big events. And part of the reason is, yes, it gives us a great opportunity to maybe generate new leads and find new buyers and sellers. But like Race to Your Next Place, which is that next slide, was a huge open house event that we put on about 2 months ago. And it took a lot of work to put this event together, I'm not going to lie. There were hundreds of teams racing through the streets of Denver, going to all of our open houses and completing challenges to earn points. And the person, or the team of 2 that ended up with the most points at the end of the day walked away with a check for $10,000.
Wow.
We were also able to present a check to Habitat for Humanity for just over $12,000, I think was the total. So it was a really great thing for us to talk about for a really long time. And I think that's kind of the key to event-based marketing when you're in real estate. Like, how can you keep reminding people that you're a realtor without just talking about your listings or being super salesy? So Race to Your Next Place was great because I got to invite all of my friends to participate. They all registered. They all had a great day. But the biggest thing was they kept talking about it. So this was a little video that we used to promote that race.
Yeah, let me just go to that video on my computer. This one right here. I'll just play this one right here. Turn that up there. Very cool. Very cool. So I think the big secret here, Stacie, is that you're doing things that are outside the box. That and I think that one of the big key things you said is it's work. It's not like it just happens. It's like you put time and effort, but your time and effort is yielding you 50 closings at an average loan size of $400,000. I don't know. I mean, I'm not good at math, but that's a lot of money that's coming in from these efforts. So I guess, my boss told me a long, long time ago when I was growing up, he says, the more money you make, the more headaches you're going to have. But it sounds to me like you're just having fun.
Well, and the great thing about it is that there's so much support in our office. So when I come up with harebrained ideas like this, everyone gets behind them. And not everything that we do is as complicated or as huge as the Race to Your Next Place, but it is also something that we're planning to make an annual event. So we do feel like now we've done kind of all of the hard work, and now we'll just get to do it year after year because everyone loved it. They had such a fun day. We had a huge after party where people drank beers and waited for the winner to be announced, and then we got a family from Habitat for Humanity. They stood up and talked about what home meant to them, which will make me cry actually just thinking about it, because it was just such a powerful way to connect with our community and actually show off our listings at the same time. So it was just such a neat way for it to kind of all come together.
Another point I want to make here is you're using social media, but you're not moving away from physical contact with your clients. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I think that's the whole point. That's the cycle. So if you go to the next screen, I'll show you how we kind of promoted that in a really full circle way. we created a Race to Your Next Place Facebook both page and event, and encouraged all 60 agents in my office to, continue to share, like, hey, keep sharing the Race to Your Next Place. And that gave all the agents in our office something to talk about and promote, which turned out to be like a really nice thing for them, because there are agents in my office who have a harder time like finding a balance on platforms like Facebook. So I think it's really neat to give people the tools to promote themselves and the company and, and the brand with like innovative things like this.
Absolutely.
So
anybody could register for this, and they had to go through and you had a whole layout of different things they had to do, which is engaging and interacting in real life, not on the internet, right? I mean, that's so huge.
We had 40 open houses on the race. There was an agent manning each open house listing, and walking people or like managing the challenges to make sure that people earned the points. There were all kinds of challenges, so it really gave those agents an opportunity to say like, hey, I'm Jeff, I would let you know, blah, 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 I'd like to talk to you later, here's my card, blah, blah, blah. And like if they could make a connection with someone, then they did. But I think most, if not all, of the people that participated that day would not go to another real estate company after that to either buy or sell.
Do you have any idea what this is going to do for you and your business moving forward? I mean, with the people you put in your database from it?
Yeah, so we all got quite a few leads out of it, and I've connected with quite a few of those folks already. And some of them, are 18 months, 24 months out from buying a house.
Sure.
So, but it was a nice way to build up not only like our company database, but our personal databases as well, because we just like randomly distributed all the leads. So.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what do you got going here?
So that's the same thing. We just did some, like, we had flyers, we had business card size kind of promotion things. We had all kinds of things going on with that. This is another thing we do. We do the Live and Learn Real Estate Happy Hour. Because our office is such a cool, like, spot to hang out. Every other week, an agent hosts a happy hour, and everyone promotes it. Everyone, no matter who's hosting, we all say this is the focus of this week's happy hour. Hey, come out if you're, trying to decide whether it's a good time to rent or buy. Or like we had one agent that did had a contractor come in that digs down to make higher ceilings in basements, because in Northwest Denver that's a big issue for us, like adding square footage to smaller houses. So it's, we throw out some wine and cheese or whatever we want. We have, little giveaways, whatever. And it's just a really nice way to connect with buyers in a really casual atmosphere.
Well, not only that, it's something for you to post on your social media sites and kind of engage and interact with something that's fun that doesn't, again, have to do with buying or selling real estate. It is, but it isn't. It's fun still.
Exactly. Yep. It's all about just having something to talk about and just reminding people, yeah, I'm a realtor, but, it's not all I'm about.
Right.
So we advertise that a bunch of different ways, and that's the cute little. We have walk-ins come into that all the time. They know there's free wine now, so they come all the time.
So because you're giving it away, you don't have to have a license, right?
No, exactly. It's just like it's just the same as an open house, really.
Correct.
Okay. And this is a little thing that we have in our office, and I just wanted to kind of like give you guys a feeling for what our office looks like. When you walk in, it's just instantly comfortable. It does not feel intimidating. Like, I love that I've had people tell me several times, like, wow, I thought I was going to, like, meet a realtor that was going to be, like, dressed in a suit and, like, make me feel all uncomfortable. And, like, 90% of the time, I think most of our realtors are in jeans and flip-flops. So I know that's different than a lot of the other offices, but it works for us.
That is you know what? It's like you gotta one, show you're the expert, but also you gotta make them feel comfortable, So,
well, exactly, because I don't want to wear a suit every time I go out to show houses. I know that.
Exactly.
So some of the different things that other agents in our office do. Irene and Rachel, they do a coat drive every year, so we all help them promote that. And I think they've collected, I don't know, I think last time they collected like 1,000 coats. It was crazy. Our office was full of coats. And then on the next one, Melinda is another agent in our office. She does an annual pet food drive. So again, always things that we can talk about that aren't necessarily like buy a house, sell a house, want to buy a house, want to move, are you moving?
Yes,
but they're just ways to like to continually be in the front of people's minds with like interesting new things that are going on or things that are giving back to the community.
So I mean, it's so important. I don't know if anybody caught that, but it's not about buying or selling a home. It's about getting to know people and letting them get to know who you are and what you do for a living through real life situations. And that's where, I mean, the mindset behind that is literally the difference between you and somebody else in town that is constantly selling.
Absolutely. Scott,
mindset.
well said, and Stacie, well said as well. That's absolutely the number one thing you can do to brand yourself as that go-to person is talk about things that have nothing to do. I mean, win a cruiser bike, what does that have to do with living urban in Denver? Nothing, but it's a great way to keep your name in front of everybody who knows you, and it always is branded with your brand. They know you're a real estate agent. They know that you sell homes for a living, and that's what you do. But having a pet food drive is, it's a genius plan.
So explain this, Stacie.
Yeah, so it's always a nice way to just, again, get people into the office and, like, break down that barrier. Because I think when you're trying to build your business online, which all of us are doing, there's this barrier to connection. So people look for houses online for a year before they ever reach out to someone, right? Yeah. So I think these are the kinds of things that let people interact with you in a more casual way without being sold to, and that's always our goal. Like, we just want to, hook up with you and make you feel comfortable, and hey, let me know if there's ever anything that I can do for you. That's my goal. This cruiser promotion was really cool. Our goal with this one was to build our Facebook likes on our Live Urban Denver page. So we gave away 2 cruiser bikes, a boy one and a girl one, and we promoted this for a couple of weeks. We have a big Highland Street Fair right outside our office every year that we help sponsor, and so we all had T-shirts that said, win a cruiser bike, and all they had to do was come in the booth and like our page, and then we got some really nice press actually out of finally giving away those bikes. So it was really fun.
That's just, it's so simple, but it's just, again, it's a little bit of work, but it's engaging in something that people, I mean, they want to feel like they're a part of your life. They just don't want a real estate agent. They would rather have a friend. And here's the powerful thing behind what you're doing, and I know you know this, but when you connect with one person and you interact and engage with them in a way that is as a friend or family, you get their friends, family, and coworkers, like, instantly. They will do nothing but stand at the top of the mountain and sing your name. And if anybody mentions real estate, that reticular activator for the whole year that you're building that deep down relationship with them, that reticular activator, and everybody knows what that is when you're thinking about buying a red car, you see every single red car on the road. When you're thinking about buying a home for the 12 months that Stacie says most people look for a home, you're hearing real estate, you're seeing houses, you're seeing for sale signs when you normally wouldn't see them, and it's just that reticular activator is going off like crazy. And if you were their best friend, interacting, engaging, and having these really cool things and giveaways and free cool stuff, we talk about this all the time, you're gonna get referrals like coming out of everywhere.
Absolutely, and I think that's the key. So, and just reinforcing like all of the events, because you never know how you're going to reach someone. So we always blog about stuff like that we're doing, because we do have a lot of people that follow our feed and share that stuff on our Facebook pages and all of that. Yep. So this Where My Peeps At kind of goes back to checking in. I love to use Facebook Places to help out local businesses. I think that. Oh, there we go. So if you keep flipping forward, this is a little yogurt shop in my neighborhood. It's called Smart Cow, and I love what they're doing because they give 20% of every day's sales to a local school. So you can sign up as a school or as like a sports program or whatever, as long as it's academic or as long as it's school related, and they will give you 20% of that day's sales. I think that's so amazing. So every time I go there, I check in, and I like it because other people that support that business know that I also do. So it's just one of those ways of like connecting with people in a different way, and also letting them know that I'm like involved in my community. I support what's going on. I know, the best places to eat frozen yogurt, frankly.
That's right. That's right.
It's important for people, I think, to know that you are in your neighborhood, that you're selling houses. It's just again and again. So again, like these are some of the things that I just pulled directly from my Facebook page. So again, I was at the open house. On the next one, I was showing this like spectacular over-the-top kitchen. So I posted, while the people are walking around looking at this like 6,000 square foot house, I had tons of time to post a photo on Facebook, and I love to do that. Just to let people know, like, hey, look at this kitchen, and by the way, I'm out showing houses. What's your realtor doing?
Yeah, right.
We work floor shifts at our office, which is a great way to connect, with walk-by traffic, and also, we get all the phone calls and stuff. But I always try and check in when I'm there too, just so people know that I'm at my cute little office, and if they're in the neighborhood, they should stop in and say hi. On the next one, I don't know how many of you go on tour. We tour all of our new listings as an office every 2 weeks. So I like to kind of live blog those tours on Facebook, and I always get a lot of interaction out of those posts because people are always curious about those new listings that aren't on the market yet, especially now while inventory is so tight. We're selling a lot of houses while we're on tour, so this is a really fun way to kind of like sneak peek those new listings.
Good point. So your tour is something that they're coming up, but they're not on the market yet.
Exactly. Yeah. We always we ask each other for staging feedback, pricing feedback, stuff like that. But mostly, I mean, now it's more about like, hey, do you have a buyer for this listing, because it's not even on the market yet. But this is what we've got coming up. So I'm a huge Pinterest user. I know that it's got a mixed reputation as far as being a time suck, but I've found a bunch of ways to tie Pinterest in with my business and also have fun doing it. This house numbers board I created, and I'm sure most of you know what Pinterest is, but basically it's like an online inspiration board where you can save photos from anywhere on the internet so that you can have them all in one place, kind of like your old bulletin board. So this house numbers board I created for a client who was getting ready to put her house on the market, and she was refusing to change the numbers, which was driving me crazy. So I had to create that board and send it to her just to show her, like, there's lots of different ways that you can change your numbers, but you have to, and it'll look all fresh and good. So she finally believed me after I did that.
Awesome.
The next one, Oh, sorry, go ahead.
What would you say, like, the number one thing, like, because I talk to a lot of people, and they're using Pinterest maybe the right way. Maybe, who knows what the right way is, right? Depending on who you are and what you do. But what would you say the one thing that has benefited you the most using Pinterest? Because I know this thing is like exploding, bigger than Facebook, bigger than anything that's ever out there.
Well, the biggest thing that I do is drive traffic to my blog.
Okay.
So every time I have a new listing, I post all of the gorgeous photos that I paid so much for in a row on my blog, and it's a very visually stimulating little presentation on my blog. But then I also pin each of those photos to Facebook, and I don't do it in a way. I don't say house for sale in Denver, $300,000, 4-bedroom, 2-bath. I'll just put, like on this one, Carrera marble. So. Okay. That's all you have to do to drive traffic back to your blog. You never want to push anything, as far as I have seen on Facebook. That's the quickest way to turn people off. But you never know who's going to be clicking around and then find your blog and then become a regular follower, and then eventually they're relocating to Denver and they give me a call, right? So that's always the goal, is just to create traffic. But another way that you can use Pinterest in your business, lately I've been having buyers put together like their dream house boards, so that I can take a quick look at that and be like, okay, this is exactly what their dream home would look like. And even if it's something that's totally ridiculous and out of their price range or like unattainable for them, I've found that I can take the things that are attractive to them, because that's what they're pinning, and show them how they can turn a house into that. So if they're buying a fixer-upper, hey, it'd be really easy to put that tile that you like on this floor, or it would only cost this much to put that